As a longtime Star Wars fan, I've been waiting a number of years for a good Star Wars game. Something like Knights of the Old Republic, or Jedi Knight 2 Outcast, or one of the original Battlefronts. Something like that has a good story and good gameplay and good characters. I think I found it. Jedi Fallen Order is actually really good. There haven't been that many great Star Wars games, not since LucasArts shut down back in the day. But Fallen Order might be what I was waiting for, I'm being honest, and I am. I'm always honest in my reviews. Just because I love Star Wars, I mean, I'm not going to pick it apart if it's a piece of crap. Like the Disney Wars films, for instance. They give a laundry list of everything wrong with those. Starting with the terrible characters and the lack of storytelling, and J.J. Abrams being a terrible director. So this game takes place in the prequel era, 5 years after Revenge of the Sith. For me, I thought it moved a little too fast. I kind of like the slow-paced stories that build up the stuff. Just moved a little too fast for me. Know what I mean? I mean, it's cool. It felt very cinematic. I felt like I was in the Star Wars universe. I haven't felt like that since KOTOR. What's KOTOR, Pete? Knights of the Old Republic. Come a long way from those, but those are still classic in my mind, right? I think one of the only problems I have is that, what's her name, the black chick, Seer or something? She looks very generic, in my opinion. Just like, can we get more aliens in Star Wars, please? Why is it so difficult? Does everybody have to look like a generic-ass human? This isn't Star Trek. No offense to Trekkies. Star Wars is built on something else, you know what I mean? Like, you have more aliens, like, I wouldn't mind having an alien main character, like a Twi'lek or something. Twi'lek Jedi, Twi'lek smuggler or something. Something new. I mean, the story is new, but at the same time it's not. You know what I mean? If you compare it to The Force Unleashed, The Force Unleashed story was not that great. Looking back, it's kind of a mess. The Force Unleashed 2 was awful. But compared to this, the story is good. Gameplay is great. Especially when you get a double-bladed saber. The first thing I did, first strength I got. I think I beat it in one night. That's how long I've been waiting for this. Beat it in one night. Of course, there's always that one person that's like, oh, it could have been great. I saw a Geeks and Gamers review. Popped up on my newsfeed on YouTube. Didn't bother to listen to it because I don't want to hear any people cry about it. It's like, you know what? If you don't like it, don't play the damn game, alright? Tell us to actually like this stuff. This is better than the stupid films. It's like, I grew up on the expanded universe, understand? Expanded universe is my Star Wars. Love the films. The first 6 anyway. New ones don't count. There's only 6 Star Wars films as far as I'm concerned. Everything else is Disney Wars. Understand? One thing I'll admit is that this Mandalorian show is actually pretty good. But that's another discussion. Like, one of the problems I have with Fallen Order is the ending. Okay, it's like this is the problem Disney seems to have. They just love to cram these new stories in between the stupid films. It's like Star Wars is a bloody galaxy, and they keep shrinking it into a freaking neighborhood. I'm like, come on, man. You're telling me you can't put this shit in the Old Republic? They have so much more freedom. But then, of course, spoilers, Vader shows up at the end, and it's like, oh, crap. The first time I play, I'm like, oh, good. It's been nice knowing you, Cal. You ain't walking away from this. You got very lucky that he got away. I mean, I kind of wish Vader didn't show up, but it's cool that he did. Kind of wanted the focus to be on lesser characters. And that's the problem with prequels. Like, don't need to have all these classic characters running around all the time. This takes place in a different pocket of the galaxy. It's okay to have different characters. It's okay to have your story end with the main hero facing an Inquisitor who basically is trying to represent Vader in a way. At least, you know. They're not Dark Jedi, but they have the Force. They were Jedi, but they're tortured until they turn, basically. Very interesting concept, I would say. I kind of wish Calvin was an Inquisitor instead of just a random dude. I think it would make more sense for, you know, especially that era, since there's no Jedi or Sith. So somehow Luke Skywalker failed to build a freaking academy, for Christ's sake. And people actually want to support these films. Something I'll never understand. I don't get it. Really don't. It's like you find the double blade saber on Dathomir, Darth Maul's home planet. Also the home planet of these Night Sisters, or whatever. It reminds me of Korriban. It's really dark, and it's exactly how I've kind of pictured it. There's only one segment of the planet. It's a pretty big planet. So it's only one segment of the planet. So hopefully in sequels, and sequels are apparently on the way because it's selling really well. Hopefully in the sequels we'll get a little more depth and some more planets to explore. 5 planets is a good amount, but I need more. The Old Republic had at least 7 planets you can go to. Go to Dantooine anytime, go to Tatooine anytime. Every other planet had its own story and a bunch of side quests. So you're jumping around all over the place. This one, it feels a little way more like Uncharted, which is good. By the way, I know people crying about it. This is a good thing, guys. Uncharted is amazing. It's 5 Uncharted games and they're all great. Okay? Give me it's too much like Uncharted. Yeah, Uncharted took from Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider took from something else. So every game borrows from something. Horizon Zero Dawn, for instance, borrowed a lot from The Witcher. The Witcher's a great game. And I'm sure The Witcher took from something else. It's a big deal. They borrow and they improve. I mean, it's not like insanely. The puzzles are kind of crazy, but once you understand what you're doing, it took me a couple of playthroughs to understand the puzzles. They're not that hard. They're more like environment puzzles, so it's not like you're thinking too hard to figure it out, but I can see why some people get bored or whatever. But I play Star Wars games for story. I play Battlefront, the new ones, once in a while, if I want to. Most days, though, won't bother. I think that Inquisitor chick is pretty cool, though. What's her name? Triller or something? Yeah, she's cool. Shame she got killed off. Spoilers. I would have loved to have seen her in a sequel, but she was only a pawn, so. Same time, I'm not really surprised. I mean, when Vader shows up, it's no joke. I mean, I think they were alluding to him throughout the entire game, but I never expected to actually see him in the game. This is like episode 3 Vader, so he's like all raw power and rage. This is him in his prime. This is the Vader we should have seen in the films, by the way. I'm not talking about Rogue Zero. Piece of crap doesn't count. Then we saw a pre-suit Vader, Anakin, but they really saw him do any badass stuff except for fighting Kenobi. But he lost. Like if we saw him fighting Sindralic or something, that would have been awesome. Deleted scene, something. At least in the episode 3 game, you get to fight Sindralic, which is pretty cool. I mean, of course Sindralic loses, but I would love to see that shit in the film. You know what I mean? The Fallen Order, pretty good. I'd say, well, if you didn't pre-order it, I would wait until it's on sale, because it's not a very long campaign, unless you'd like to explore. If you like to explore, then by all means, it'll take you a while. But the thing about the story is that you have to, once you progress through the story, much like KOTOR, you upgrade your Force abilities and heals his connection to the Force, because he lost his master during the Jedi Purge, and he claimed something happened to him. Like he must have lost his connection to the Force, because he has been in hiding for many years. He must have been like 10 or something when the Purge went down, because it's only 5 years later, and he must be like 15 or something. So he's a young dude. Which is good. I mean, they still have a decent amount of time in between this and the original Star Wars, so not too bad. I still wish someone would do a freaking Old Republic game, some kind of story in Old Republic. Like, stop with this in between crap, alright? This is really ridiculous. It's gonna come back to bite him in the ass, especially with that TV show they got now. Eventually, it's gonna be turned into a damn prequel. Eventually. Not in this season or next season, depending on how many seasons it has. Let's say it has 5 seasons. Eventually, it's gonna have to start alluding to the quote-unquote sequel trilogy. I'm like, I don't intend to watch it that long, but yeah. So, hidden Easter egg for those of you that haven't played the game yet. You can get a double-bladed lightsaber on Dathomir after a certain point in the story. You can get it pretty early on. And when I did the first time I played, I got it. I'm like, oh damn. I couldn't actually believe it was actually real. I'm like, say what? I couldn't believe it was actually real. I'm like, I haven't had a double-bladed lightsaber since the Old Republic games, man. This is amazing. On console? Because I can get double-bladed saber in Jedi Academy, but that's on a laptop. On a console, to actually have that shit be, oh my goodness. Because then you're fighting these dudes on Dathomir, and it feels like real combat too. It's not just slash and slash, it's actual combat. You're blocking, you're attacking, you can do some flips or whatever you want to. It's awesome. So I definitely give it a 9 out of 10 for me, just because it feels very cinematic, as I said. Like I play with the stereo headphones, so even when I'm charging my headphones, my PlayStation, it still feels very Star Warsy, which is the point, which is exactly what I was waiting for. The exact opposite of these new films. They don't feel like Star Wars at all. They're not. And people, if you want to delude yourself to thinking that Avon is going to fix Episode 9, delusional. Delusional. It's not going to fix crap. It's not what he does. It just makes it worse. by now, right? Please. They made their choice when they killed Luke Skywalker off in the last film. I was like, fine. Have it your way, Disney. I'm looking forward to sequels of Fallen Order. It's a good game. And some of the puzzles are a little goofy. Not goofy, but again, you just need to take your time. The wall running stuff is kind of dumb. I don't like that at all. And the sliding stuff, like Prince of Persia, hopefully they can get rid of that for the next one, because I don't need that. Platforming is natural in most games, but the sliding stuff and the wall running, like, get rid of that. Get rid of it. Don't need it. It's not necessary for a Star Wars game at all. It's like for Electronic Arts, people don't like Electronic Arts that much, EA games. It's pretty good. There's no, there are kind of loot boxes, but you don't have to pay for them. Spoilers. Yeah, you can go around, look for them chests around. Each planet has a number of chests. They have different items you can collect. Most of it are lifesaver parts. Sometimes you get like a different jacket or something, but it's a good game. I wouldn't say it's worth full price, but I would have said go check it out on Black Friday or whatever. But GameStop won't give you anything for it, so don't bother going there. Wait it out if you have to. Wait till the price has gone down. But I had to buy the full price, and then I just had to do it. Waited way too long for a good Star Wars game. Because this Disney era has been absolutely terrible. They put out, 4 films? They've all been pieces of crap. Reboot Awakens, Last Disaster, Rogue Zero. And this new one, Jar Jar Abrams Episode 9, Return of the Jedi 2.0. They have a 0 for 5 at record, as far as I'm concerned. 0 for 4, whatever it is. Oh yeah, not Solo, yeah. 0 for 5. So that's a 0 for 5 record for Disney Wars. Ever since George Lucas left Star Wars behind, it's been crap. I haven't seen it for years. Prequel haters are the reason we're in this situation. Those people didn't run their mouths online for years, talking smack about George Lucas and how his director's telling the best, which he acknowledged. Now, Christensen hating Christian this, hating Christian that. Yeah, it's not his fault, guys. I mean, speaking as a writer, one of the reasons why I don't ever want to make my stuff into films is because of how George Lucas was treated. I mean, call yourself loyal fans. Now all of a sudden people are acknowledging how bad this stuff is. I'm not blaming people, I'm just saying in general. This is what I've seen, this is why I walked away from the fan base. Because, in my opinion, Star Wars fans can be ridiculous. But, it seems like Mandalorian is starting to reunite people. But I still say it's too little too late, because the last film should have been as good as this show. The only reason I didn't want to see it is because I assumed, because the films are trash, how can they make a good TV show that feels like Star Wars when they can't even get some interesting new characters who respect the originals? So, I was wrong, but doesn't mean I'm giving Disney any more of my money, because I'm not. Like, J.J. Abrams can jump off a bridge for all I care. Get that nose fixed as well. Anyway, so Fallen Order, 9 out of 10 I'd give it. It's pretty good. Yeah, if you want to play it and you haven't played it out there, I'd wait a little bit till the price drops, but at the same time, check it out. Probably won't be disappointed, especially if you're getting double-blooded saber. It'll make the combat a lot easier, believe me.